Hello, in this video I'm going to be using the list method and vision boards interchangeably. I personally feel that the list method is just a written vision board and a vision board is just list but visual. Whenever I make my vision boards, I put them someplace that I know I'm gonna see them all the time, but anytime I look at it, I just tell myself, yeah, I have everything on my vision board manifested, it's all mine now. And sometimes I'll look at certain desires and say, oh, that's coming, that's literally happening like next week. And sometimes it will literally happen the next week. So vision boards, lists, whatever you want to do, that's not really the point of manifestation. The point is you, what you're thinking. So let's get into my acting manifestations. Around 2022, I was looking at my vision board and I was like, I would love if I actually got to act in front of a camera this year, if I just finally had that moment. And I want to say weeks later, my friend's wife texted me and she said, hey, I'm working with a production company, we're filming a commercial, I would love for you to audition. And I said, okay, what do I have to do? So I did my little audition, and a few days later she texted me and she said, they love you, you're in. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I filmed my first commercial for a bank in my city, my town. I don't think it ever saw the light of day, but I got paid. I made $100 and it was my first time being paid to be on camera, so of course I was so excited. I need to plug my phone in. After I booked that, I kind of thought, now that I've actually booked something and now that I've actually been paid to work, I might be able to keep booking. I think I'm gonna keep booking. So a little bit later into that semester, I saw this QR code and they were asking for actors for the campus film department. I don't remember what they're actually called, but they don't make student films, they make promotional material, teaching material. Like, I saw this QR code, scanned it, filled out all of my information, and then someone texted me and said, hey, I really like your look, can you please come in and audition for this? And I said, yeah, okay. And I think that same night, this girl had texted me and she said, I saw your monologue and that was amazing, can you please be in my project? And I said, oh, okay. I was in her project, and then a little bit after that, people from the thing I was actually auditioning for texted me and they said, you made it, you have a part, this is what we're paying you, and yeah. So I was in two projects at the exact same time. One is a promotional thing for this online school, and then the other was learning materials for a political science class, but it was really fun. So after that, in my head, I was just like, I'm a good actor. The exact same semester, one of my friends called me and he said, hey, they're doing auditions for Sister Act, I need you to audition. I was like, I can't sing. I did my little audition, I sang Life on Mars, and I was really nervous, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I haven't been on stage since I was in high school, and I so badly want to perform. Like, it's just something I love. So he texted me and he said, like, how's it going? And I said, I think I really want this. Signs and angel numbers only mean whatever meaning you assign to them, so I love to see angel numbers and I love to see anything good happening to me as my manifestations here. I have it. So I drove down to do my callback and I parked in front of a house and the address was like 222 or 333, I don't remember, but I looked up, I was like, I'm getting this. So I went in, I sang Super Trooper because I can't. Anyways, they were like, we like you. And I got the part, and I was suddenly leading a musical, and I was listening to subliminals for better singing and acting, and I was taking everything so seriously. And yeah, my performance, like, my vocal performance is not the best, but every time I watch the videos back, I'm very proud of myself for what I did. So late 2022 or early the next year, but my cousin texted me and asked if I would be in her directing final. So my cousin did theater in college, so she asked me if I'd be in her directing final, and I was like, me? And she was really busy, so we hadn't talked, but I was really missing her, and I remember telling my mom, like, I just miss her and I wish that we were still close. And then she reached out to me and I was like, okay. The next year, people from campus production reached out and asked if I would be in a couple more projects, so I did like 2 or 3 more projects with them. This guy was not my agent at the time, but he's my agent now as of 2025. He sent me a casting for a extra role in this movie, and I was like, well, alright. So I filled out the forms and I did my little introduction video, and they were like, yeah, we like you. Why don't you come on down? Like, let's do it. So me and my mom were in this movie called Faith of Angels. It's a little Christian movie. It's cute. I'm not religious, but my mom really loved it. I know a lot of people really liked it, and it was cool because we got put. I'm kind of an attention whore when it comes to acting. If I'm gonna be acting, I kind of want like a little bit of attention on me, so I kept telling myself like we're definitely going to be seen. They're gonna see us in this movie, stuff like that. When we got into the building, these ladies like were guiding us around, and they looked at me and my mom and they were like, these two look perfect, put them in the front. So we got put in the front, and then when we saw the movie, you see the camera pan and like you see me and my mom sat next to each other behind the star, and it's just the coolest thing. It was so cool. I think the year after that, I told myself that I wanted to perform live, and this happened so quick. Like the day of me saying, I really want to perform live, I miss performing live. My school had posted that they were doing a student case. My school had posted that they were doing a student showcase for the theater majors, and I was like, no way. So I signed up, practiced a monologue from Midnight Mass by Mike Flanagan. I had not been a theater major for very long. I started in international studies, so I hadn't done the big theater classes yet. So no one knew who I was, and no one had really like, I don't have friends in that department, I'll tell you that. Because I was working, I couldn't make the required workshops that you had to do if you wanted to be in the showcase, but the professor, he loved this man. He said, I want you here and I want you involved, and I think people need to see you, so I'm gonna train you, I'm gonna do the coaching, and we're gonna do it one-on-one around your schedule. So we picked a day in the afternoon, and every week I went and I worked with him. And coolest thing ever. Time passes, I sign with another agent, and he sends me this audition for a commercial and a PSA. I was like, okay, I don't know what these are. At the same time all that was happening, I was focused on my self-concept and my mindset and positive self-talk, being really positive every time I look at my vision boards, working through my facial dysmorphia, like I was really prioritizing me and myself and my self-concept. So I did the audition, and I want to say a month or 2 passed, and I heard nothing. I was like, okay. But my agent called me randomly, and he was like, hey, so I wanted to brief you on the details for the next week. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, the next week, the commercial. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And he realized he hadn't sent me my booking. I booked a commercial, and I live in Idaho. I act in a state over, so I have to have like hotels, I have to be fully gassed up, my car has to be in working order, I have to miss classes. Like, to be booked is a huge thing, and I need time to plan for it. I was like, okay, you want me over there next week? And he's like, yes. It was really fun, and the entire time, again, I love me some camera time. Like I said, if I'm gonna be on stage or in front of a camera, I do want attention, I do want eyes, so I was like, okay, we're gonna make extra money, we're gonna be here twice as long, I'm gonna have a part. I got cast for 2 different scenes, and then we also filmed for like 7-8 hours, go back home, and the check comes, and it's looking pretty nice. So I was like, okay, thank you. I talked about this in the other video, but I got my audition for the movie the next year, and I felt different about it, so I stalked the production company and figured out the cast and was like, yeah, this is for me. Booked that. After I booked the movie, I also auditioned for Hairspray, and I got that, but I also got kicked out because the movie filming schedule, look girl, I wanted extra days and I got extra days and I got a nice check out of it too. So my filming schedule got really hectic and chaotic, and I couldn't get to the like important rehearsal dates, so they yeeted me out of it. And rightfully so. Anyways, those are my acting success stories using my vision board. Just looking at my vision board and pointing at something and telling myself that my vision board is going to manifest and I'm going to have exactly what I said I had. So